Wriggle into your water shoes and prepare to get sweaty, because we're coming to you live from a boiling hot swamp to deliver some almost up-to-date ADHD medication news. In this little squeaker of an episode, Kristin is educating us on an ongoing lawsuit involving the online medical management company, Done, that saw huge success during the pandemic. She's looking at how the company operates, the facts behind the case, how the lawsuit could impact current ADHD patients, and what the future of telehealth might hold. Plus, we wonder how often we're supposed to call our mothers, find a solution to Grace's pervasive peanut butter problem, learn that you can't help who you love, and more.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
Let's get into it, yeah?
Yeah.
Shall we?
We should.
All right, without further ado, welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace Beret.
And I'm your host, Kristin Stanhope.
Beat you to it. You've been
did.
saying it
I know.
all the time now.
All the time.
I wanted to squeak one in.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Squeaker in.
Little squeaker.
Squeak away.
Squeaking.
Yeah.
All right.
We got a meaty episode today.
So
meaty, but not too meaty. But it'll be good.
Like a chicken, maybe. You know, a light
Chicken instead of a steak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I got a warm-up question first. I know you and I are both warm because it's warm out.
I'm quite chilly. So.
Are you?
Yep. Freezing. That's why I'm sweating so much. It's cold sweats.
You can tell because I'm sweating.
Yeah. You can tell I'm a bit chilly.
Currently applying more deodorant.
God, it is humid in here. I just spilled a whole glass of water on the table.
Our humidity level has gone up.
Yeah, we're essentially in a swamp. But that's okay because we're dedicated to you guys and we bring you podcasts no matter what else is going on.
No matter the climate.
Yeah, no matter the climate, we'll record from anywhere. A swamp, the top of a mountain.
A blizzard.
A glacier.
Power outages.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Maybe. We'll try.
We'll certainly try.
Yep. All right. Let's turn up the temp in here.
Yep.
Show them what we're made of.
I have a warm-up question.
All right. Great.
How often do you call your mom?
Not often enough.
I know. Same.
Yeah. I'm just so bad at thinking to call people in general.
I'm bad at phone calls.
Same. I don't like them.
I
don't care for them. I never call anyone. I have gotten better at calling my mom. She's always very, happy to hear from me. So I try to do it. I try to do it more often, but it's hard because my mom's always traveling and stuff. So it's like,
yeah, your mom's on the go.
Right. So,
she's a busy lady.
Gone for 6
You're lucky
weeks.
if she calls you.
Exactly. So she usually calls me. I have gotten better, but I don't know. I think we try to talk at least, a couple times a week on the phone. We text a lot. That's nice.
That's good.
I'll try to remember to text her as well. I'm always trying to, I feel like I'm so busy every day. I'm just trying to make it through the day.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you asking? You don't call your mother enough?
My mom called me to tell me that I need to call her more often.
Oh.
So
it's
that
on
was
you.
like a womp womp.
Womp womp.
She also called my brother and did the same thing, so I feel less bad.
Okay. All right.
So
It's
the
not just
bar's super low.
you. Yeah. If you're bad at it, I bet Nick is terrible.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And at least I called to just check in and not like, I have a favor. Can you help me?
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit better. But she did call and she's like, now that I'm retired, you have to call me once a week.
You have to.
I have to.
Or what?
It's the rule now.
You're out?
It's the new rule. I'm out of the
here?
will.
All
Not
right.
that there is a will or there's anything to give in the will.
I mean, there's something, They've got cats, right?
They have no cats.
Oh, no cats?
No cats.
Oh, you're screwed.
They have a bunch
boat?
of Christmas china that they already gave me. Not that I asked for it, but I have it now.
I also, I guess, am inheriting the Christmas china that I did not ask for. It has to be hand washed.
Yeah.
Which
I know.
Want. I don't want
like putting it in the dishwasher. My mom's like, no!
That nice china.
No, it's hand wash. And you can't microwave it because it has like the gold foil.
Same. Which I have done before. Actually, that mug that's right in front of you right now, it has like a gold handle. See how it's all scratched up there?
Yeah.
Because I put that in the microwave and it exploded everywhere.
That's a big no-no.
I know. Someone got me that for my bridal shower and I exploded the handle in the microwave. Still functional though.
Yeah. It's still a good mug. It's just, it looks like it got struck by lightning.
Got some battle scars. Yeah.
It almost makes it better.
Right? It's a fun reminder of who I am.
But yeah, she called me and she was like, you have to call me more often. And I felt really bad. I was like, yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
Tough
I felt like a bad daughter.
I mean, thing is, when you call her, like, how much are you guys talking about? Like, you need to leave enough time to have things to talk about.
Right.
Otherwise, it's the same conversation over and over.
I lead a boring life.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe she's not doing much.
Yeah.
But, the updates I get are like someone had a baby and someone else died. And remember this person you're supposed to remember from high school. Yep. And I can't believe you don't remember her. Anyway, she had a baby.
Oh.
Everyone's having babies.
Yeah. Yuck. Going around.
Yeah, I know. Something's in the water.
Better not catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom likes to ask, she likes to do the rounds of like, oh, how's Kristin? How's Gracie? How's Haley? How's Mo? I'm like,
my mom remembers things that I don't even remember, She's like, how's Mo's new job? And I'm like, Mo got a new job.
Didn't know she had a new job.
When did you hear about this? She's like, oh, well, I was talking to Susan, who was talking to,
Cindy.
Mo's mom, who, and I'm like, how you're more in the know than I am.
I know. That's the problem when our moms are friends with our friends' moms is that they learn things before we do. And then I feel like a bad friend. My mom always says that because she's good friends with Mo's mom specifically.
Yeah. I feel like I am a bad friend. I don't know anything about any of our friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so hard to stay in contact with people you're not directly seeing every single day.
Right.
I
have a hard time with that.
Let's both make a pact to work on our communication better.
With our moms.
Call our mothers.
Call the mothers.
And like maybe let's text a friend or two once in a while,
Okay.
Other than each other. I know. Hard.
That is hard.
Yeah.
Does Gracie count?
No.
Oh,
other than Gracie. Lily doesn't count.
And she's family.
I know. She's family.
She's family.
Yeah. When you hear, you hear. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I think we can try our best, but you don't need to feel shame about it because
I feel shame.
I just hate like sitting on the phone saying nothing, It's like yes, we should do it. We should do it more.
We should do it more.
They really like it. They feel special when we call them.
Mm-hmm.
We should make the effort.
Did bring us into this world. They raised us.
Yep.
Nurtured us.
We should call us. Everyone, call your mothers.
This is a reminder.
Yep.
Call your mothers. And if you don't want to call your mom, that's fine.
And if you don't have a mom, that's fine too.
Or if you don't like your mom,
don't call her.
Don't call her.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want with your mom.
Yep. With your mom. That's a great summation of that. Yep. All right.
So moving on. You want to talk about our little accomplishments before this meet?
Please.
Okay. Little accomplishments, but big in our hearts. You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I bought a new car. Well, it's not brand new. It's a used car. It's a 2015 Subaru.
Hey, it's new to you.
It's new to me.
New to you and new to us.
Right? New to us. Yes.
It's our new car.
Yes, it's our collective new car.
I'm really excited about our new car.
Yeah, we bought a new car. It's a Subaru. We're not helping with the whole, like, are they friends or are they lesbians thing.
No, we're not.
We bought a Subaru together, guys. We'll take a photo of us holding hands in front of it so you can tell that it's platonic and we're just friends. Yes, so we bought a Subaru. It's a 2015. I love her. Her name is Alice.
Oh, you named it Alice?
Yeah, I was driving her home from...
I love that.
Right, from the dealership, and I was like, okay, what is your name? I kind of said it out loud, like, what should I name you? What's your name? And I didn't close my eyes because I was driving, but I just kind of like silenced my mind for a second, and Alice popped into my head immediately. I was like,
oh, this is meant to be.
It's Alice.
I don't really name my cars.
They're just like, this is the Mazda.
It's so fun to name them, though. You should think about it. Ask your car when you drive home.
I technically had to give it a name because when I bought it, I like signed up for their like online, some sort of like thing where I could get free maintenance if I signed up for their online thing, and I had to name the car, which was really weird.
What'd you name it? I think they're just asking for like Mazda 2017.
I think that's exactly.
Like Chuck.
Yeah, so I named it Francis.
I like Francis.
It's not a Francis though. If anything, it's more of a Franco. You know?
But is that like a James Franco? We don't like the Francos.
No, just Franco or Frankie.
Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie D. How about that?
Frankie D. Yeah, I'll have to change the name to Frankie D.
Frankie
but
D.
I don't really name. I don't know. I've never really named, like, my Jetta was the Jetta.
I think it's
my other Jetta
fun.
was the Jetta.
The Jetta, also the Jetta.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Haley named her car in high
Mrs.
school
Potts.
Mrs. Potts. What a fun name.
That was the perfect name, though, because it looked like Mrs. Potts.
Yeah, looked like Mrs. Potts. So, that kind of sent me on a kick to name my own vehicles.
I like Alice.
And yeah, I like Alice. She's super cute. I really like her, but that's not my accomplishment. My accomplishment is that obviously the car came clean inside, and I have kept it clean. It's been about a month now.
Whoa.
I've kept it clean, so I take all my trash out, and I'm not making a mess. The seats are black, which is really nice. My last Subaru had those gray cloth seats where you stain water or you spill water on it, it stains like coffee.
You like breathe in the wrong direction and it's stained.
Yep. My mom and I bought that first Subaru together, and she got in it and immediately spilled her water bottle onto the seat, and it stained like brown. Cool. Thanks for that.
Does Lucy go in the car?
She has not gone in my car yet. We usually take Ian's truck.
Yeah.
But I've been working from home for so many years now. We sold my Subaru because I didn't.
Because it had mice in it.
Well, I wasn't driving it enough, and then a mouse moved in, and we're like,
one does.
Maybe we should get rid of this. So, but now I'm working out of the house more and more, and so I need a little bopper to drive around because we can't keep sharing Ian's truck. So we'll use Ian's truck for like the dirty stuff, if we're going paddle boarding or we're taking Lucy up to camp. And then I can keep my little Alice like all nice and clean.
Yeah.
And I registered her. I had 30 days to register her, and I did it like 20 days in. I didn't wait till the last day.
That's huge.
Right? Made an appointment online, went to City Hall, registered my car.
Dang.
Boom.
Proud of you.
Really proud of myself.
That was great. That's fantastic.
It's
a huge accomplishment.
I'm doing a lot of big stuff this summer,
Man, this is the most adult conversation we've ever had.
I feel very mature.
Yeah.
Kristin, what did you accomplish?
I bought you a present.
Did you?
And not only did I buy you a present, but I brought the present because it's been in my house for about a month.
Okay.
Because about a month ago, you said you had an issue with peanut butter.
Yes.
And getting the last bit of peanut butter.
Yes.
And you have about 18 jars of peanut butter.
Yes. It was 11, but hyperbole.
Yeah, sure.
You give me a little spatula?
I did get you. But you can't make fun of the packaging because it kind of like fell apart while it was in my house.
All right, I'll be kind about it. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic.
It is
simple spreading.
Basically, it's an elongated knife.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, I got the extra long.
Good.
Yeah, I figured you needed it. I didn't know how big your peanut butter jars were, but it's a elongated knife with an extra lip. So you can get to all your peanut butter because both Christopher and I were absolutely frightened about the fact that that's too many peanut butter jars.
That's subjective, but I appreciate you thinking of me and my peanut butter.
We even did our research. This has great reviews.
Yeah, this is the best one.
I don't know if it's the best, but it has good reviews.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That was a very thoughtful gift.
That way, your hands aren't messy.
Yeah.
You can get those last little bits of peanut butter.
You're right.
And you can throw the empty jars away.
You're right.
Or recycle them.
Then you got to like wash them out. It's like how much
worth it.
How much, are we really doing to save the environment with this? But either way, I can get that peanut butter out.
Yeah. There you go. You're going to have so much.
I'm going to use this.
I know you are, but just check the expiration dates of your peanut butter. If there's really 11 jars in there.
You're right.
I'm concerned.
That's another thing. I did not realize until last week that expiration dates are meant to be for unopened products, which makes so much sense. How could they tell you when it expires if it's open? But they like the expiration date on milk. It's not like you open it now and this will last, until whatever. It's like, assume the bottle has stayed closed. It will last this long. Expiration dates are just for closed products. Once you've opened them, it's anyone's game,
Yeah, like yogurt.
Yeah.
If you open a yogurt and leave it on the counter, it's going to expire real quick.
Well, not even on the counter. Like if you just have, you've taken the plastic covering off and now you're just like using the yogurt tub.
And leave it on the counter.
No, even if you leave it in the fridge, that expiration date is shorter than if you had left it totally unopened with the plastic top still on.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ian said that to me because I was complaining that the milk had expired early. He's like, well, that's the date for if it stayed
You guys
closed.
have to buy less
like,
milk.
oh.
I feel like you have like a milk expiration situation.
It's not me. It's Ian. And
He needs like
he knows
quarter gallons only.
I know because he's the only one who uses it, and so I'm not really using it. And I have told him I've taken a strong stand. I will not be the one dumping out any expired milk. That's not my job. You have to take care of the expired milk, dump it out, recycle the container. I will not do it.
We start to, when we take the trash out, I try to like be mindful of like, are there any leftovers that we have to throw out? And one of the things is I do look at the milk.
Yep.
Even though I don't drink the milk.
Yep.
And if it's close, I'm like, Christopher, you got to drink this. And luckily he drinks milk whole.
Yuck.
And just like by the glass. So
Ugh. That's vile.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. But can't help who you love.
Ain't that the truth?
So, but yeah, no, he does pretty well on his milkage.
Ew.
God, that's
yuck.
Anyway.
Yeah. I leave those for Ian to dump
Enjoy
out,
your peanut butter.
Thank you for this.
I'm really excited about
I'll post
your
a picture.
peanut butter journey.
This is my peanut butter journey. This is a very thoughtful gift, and I'm really proud of you for buying it, remembering it.
Bought it as I was listening to the episode. With
Did you?
We were both like, wow. Because I remember like recording it and I was like, that's a lot of jars of peanut butter. And then I like, as we were listening to it together and I look over at Christopher, who's like horrified. We also go through a lot of peanut butter. I just got a mega size peanut butter.
That's what I need to do. Buy bigger jars.
Bigger jars. Like I think the bigger the jar, the quality of the peanut butter goes down. But you know what? In this economy, we can't afford bougie peanut butter.
No, it's quantity over quality.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Right.
Well, I'll show you after we record how many jars of peanut butter I have, and then we can test this sucker out.
Put it to use.
Yeah, I'm really going to use that.
I know you are.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited for this peanut butter journey.
I'm excited for this peanut butter journey as well. That's wonderful.
Do you wish you were sometimes slightly more organized, but not too organized and not all the time?
Have you tried using planners in the past? At first, you're delighted by the novelty and new prospects of having some sort of organization in your life, only to forget them in a drawer for months at a time or have it sit on the counter for so long it blends into the background, never to be seen or used again.
Introducing the Peekaboo Planner.
That's right, Helen Germain and Carl Coupons have done it again. The Peekaboo Planner is a new type of planner that exists on its own terms. It's a planner that shows up for a mysterious amount of time.
How much time?
We just don't know. The Peekaboo Planner will choose how long it wants to stick around for and then disappear, only to reappear when it thinks you need it the most.
This planner forces you to use it because who knows how long it'll be around for.
The Peekaboo Planner, finally, a planner that works with your inconsistent ADHD brain.
Peekaboo Planner. Peekaboo Planner. Sometimes it's there and then other times no.
Find your Peekaboo Planner today at Michael's at midnight, if you can. Peekaboo Planner, Peekaboo Planner. Sometimes it's there and then other times no. Peekadoo-doo.
Peekadoo-doo.
All right, you ready to get into this meat?
Please, let's dive on into that meat. It is the meat.
It's a different meat than usual. You know, exotic meat.
Ooh,
you know,
like what?
usually we're talking about symptoms of ADHD or kind of adjacent issues with ADHD or autism or something. Meds.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Things.
Stuff.
Today we're going to talk about the law.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, we love the law.
We love the law.
We're law-abiding citizens.
Yep, never break it. I don't encourage people on this podcast to ever break the law, and I never have. No. Definitely shouldn't steal stuff. I've never said that.
Official statement.
Yep. Don't steal stuff.
Don't steal the things.
And don't molest dolphins. Oh, I don't know if this episode
That was a different episode.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
All
see.
right. We'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway, we're going to talk about the Dunn lawsuit that has just, this is almost like a current event, I would say. This happened in, we're up to date, but kind of. By the time this comes out, this happened around mid-June, June 13th. So we're getting kind of late to it. And then by the time this comes out, it's going to be like a month.
Well, for us, it's up to date.
You know, it's as up to date as we've ever been.
Yeah, there you go. Little accomplishment.
So have you heard of the company Dunn?
D-O-N-E?
Yeah, period.
Period?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, like Dunn.
Like D-O-N-E period is the name of the company.
No,
or
it's
Dunn
like
Global.
Sassy name for a company, period.
They ran a lot of ads on Instagram. I saw a bunch of them. I'm surprised you didn't see them on the WOF Instagram.
What do they do?
So they're a telehealth company, specifically catering to the diagnosis and medical management of ADHD.
Oh, maybe I saw them, but I usually just ignore those because I'm already diagnosed. I don't need it.
Yeah. So their telemedicine is a new, got really popular from the pandemic.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because people didn't want to go to a doctor's office. That's like ground zero.
And sometimes they couldn't go to a doctor's office.
Exactly. So telemedicine really took off, including this company, Dunn. And so I'm going to read their mission statement, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Dunn allows anyone who is challenged by ADHD to receive the help they need and to live up to their fullest potential. We provide awareness and education for people to learn more, private and accurate medical diagnosis through telehealth, and actionable ways to receive immediate treatment. We believe this holistic approach to the challenge of ADHD demonstrates our commitment to ensure that no one is left behind. And then if you go further into like about us, they do kind of describe like the challenges of ADHD of like scheduling a doctor's appointment, especially with the decreasing number of available psychiatrists. And so this was supposed to be a solution to help with the diagnosis and treatment of ADHD, because it's, as we've talked about before, a lot of the things they say on their website, we've talked about before, how it's very challenging. There's, sometimes there's insurance issues or money issues or scheduling the appointment or keeping the appointment and remembering the appointment.
Transportation,
and as well as like a pretty big stigma.
Mm-hmm.
Or not having anybody near your community who can diagnose. So this was supposed to be like an online solution. It was revolutionary. It took off, especially once the pandemic hit, because I think there are a multitude of things. One, telehealth took off in general. And two, I think the diagnosis of ADHD people kind of, without their support structures at home, they kind of, or at their work or their usual day-to-day, they kind of, I think also... I have a lot of opinions, but basically there's been an increase of diagnoses of ADHD where we're becoming more attuned to what it looks like in people who aren't just, white men or little boys who are hyperactive, because women and people of color often are misdiagnosed. And so these are all things we've talked about. So this was supposed to be the solution.
Yeah, sounds like a great resource.
Yeah, they claim they were founded due to the difficulty of seeking a diagnosis for ADHD. They promise a quick and easy diagnosis, effective medication management by a licensed practitioner, all online. Fantastic.
Yeah, sounds good.
Initially, you pay a $200 fee for the consultation and diagnosis, and then you pay $80 a month for unlimited access to their services, including prescriptions. And then whether you need to pay with your insurance for like a copay at your pharmacy, that's up to the pharmacy. Honestly, not a bad, considering like some insurances are terrible with mental health coverage and you have to pay, recently I've talked to 2 different people who have had their son diagnosed and they had to seek out like a private outside insurance psychiatrist and ended up paying over $1,000 just for the consultation. So $200
that's nothing.
Plus $80 a month isn't bad. And yes, this is America where, healthcare is privatized. Yes.
For America,
yes.
That's a steal.
That's a bargain.
I've heard like $2,500, $3,000 for people to get the assessment and the diagnosis. And then you have to like actually
it's
pay
not-
for the meds on
yeah,
top of
it's
it.
not covered by insurance. And then the meds,
Yep.
depending on what they prescribe you, without insurance, they could be up to like $300 a month, you know?
Yep.
It's wild. And a little bit of backstory is there's a thing called the Ryan Haidt Online Pharmacy Consumer Protection Act of 2008.
Hmm.
And this requires providers to hold at least one in-person medical evaluation before it can dispense medicine virtually. And then the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, this is in the U.S., granted temporary lift during the pandemic so patients could get medicine through solely telehealth evaluation because, no one could go into the doctor's offices. And this has been granted until, I think, the end of 2024, which is this year.
Mm.
So it's still going on, this like pause of the Ryan Haidt online pharmacy. And I'm wondering if they'll reevaluate, because now that we have all of this, new telehealth technology and it's really gotten better and efficient because it had to be. I'm wondering if they'll change the rules, but maybe not after this.
I wonder how that would look like retroactively. Are you grandfathered in? Like, what if this person's been prescribing you meds for like 3 years?
Right.
You've never met them in person, and then it changes,
Right.
and you live across the country.
Right. So
Interesting.
So on June 13th, 2024, news broke that the CEO of Dunn Global, I guess is the company name, Ruthia He, and the Dunn medical director, Dr. David Brody, were arrested for the involvement of an Adderall distribution scheme.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Great. That's just what we need.
Just what we need.
Meds are already
Right? So-
super easy to get, and I'm sure this makes it even easier for
Right.
us.
So now this huge lawsuit has come out
God.
against Dunn and against these two people who could face up to 20 years in jail.
Dr. David Brody is an untrustworthy name to begin with. Last name as a first name? I don't think so.
Two
Two
first
first
names.
names? Get outta
Never trust
here.
a man with two first names.
Nope.
So this is a direct quote from the DEA administrator, Ann Milgram. The defendants in this case operated Dunn Global Inc., an online telehealth website that prescribed Adderall and other highly addictive medications to patients who bought a monthly subscription. The defendants allegedly preyed on Americans and put profits over patients by exploiting telemedicine rules that facilitated access to medications during the unprecedented COVID-19 public health emergency. Instead of properly addressing medical needs, the defendants allegedly made millions of dollars by pushing addictive medications. In many cases, Dunn Global prescribed ADHD medications when they were not medically necessary. In 2022, the FDA issued a notice of shortages in prescription stimulants, including Adderall. Any diversion of Adderall and other prescription stimulant pills to the persons who have no medical need only exacerbates this shortage and hurts any American with a legitimate medical need for these drugs. The DEA will continue to hold accountable anyone, including the company executives, that uses telehealth platforms to put profit above patient safety.
Damn.
So they're like full coming after these people.
Good.
So what exactly happened? What is, like, the FBI is looking into this, is the federal lawsuit. What went wrong? So according to this lawsuit, there were many unsafe practices that Dunn was using in enforcing. So one was practitioners. So they hired a bunch of MDs and nurse practitioners. I think there were a couple PAs, but I'm not sure. I think mostly MDs and nurse practitioners. They were highly incentivized to prescribe medications, specifically Adderall and other stimulants.
This is just like the freaking opioid crisis. God.
I believe I read in one article they were rewarded for that. Like
Great. Kickbacks.
yes.
Just like the opioid crisis.
And then they were somehow able to diagnose and prescribe without a video or a phone call. So I don't know if they
What?
did that like via text or via emails only.
Oh my God.
Or what, but there was no video or phone call in a telehealth situation, but they were still able to prescribe. Or if they like did I think you like take a survey or something.
Yeah.
And so maybe they did that, but there was no like face-to-face or voice-to-voice communication.
That's insane.
right. More insane is auto refills on scheduled drugs. So scheduled drugs are like opioids and stimulants, among other things, but those are the two big ones.
You can't have those on auto refill.
Cannot have those on auto refill.
No, it's really frustrating, actually.
It Yes, exactly. So I don't even know how they were able to do that, but it's still like, so I went on their website and it's still there, like automatic refills.
What?
Yeah.
I have to message my doctor's office every single month, and I used to have to go in person and get a friggin' paper prescription.
Yeah.
Bring it to the pharmacy every
Wild,
month.
right? And then they enforced a pretty strict no follow-up policy. So they would prescribe these medications, they would put you on auto renew, and then they wouldn't follow up.
Oh my God.
And that's definitely not okay when you're taking a new medication.
No, you usually have to make so many adjustments to figure out your exact dosage.
And maybe what if it's the wrong medication? So, and then they believe this overprescribing with lack of follow-up led to the overdose and deaths of a few clients.
Well, they're probably not monitoring like their other health conditions either, like people who have heart problems. They're probably just like, these people don't know. They're just like, I don't know. Someone told me I might have ADHD. Let me check with the doctor, thinking the doctor will like take these things into consideration. Maybe they don't even realize like heart palpitations or whatever.
Right. Are they doing a med rack? Are they like looking at their other medications? Are they taking one of the medications you're not supposed to take with it? Or do they have a heart condition?
Yeah. God.
Yeah. So,
and are they checking in with their patients about like their weight? Because that's a big thing that my doctor does too, to make sure I'm not like, especially once you start stimulants, make sure you're not like losing a ton of weight because it can impact your appetite. Like there's so many health problems that can come from that. God.
Or if it's just like not the right medication for you. Yeah.
Yeah, those can fuck you up if it's just like doesn't work with your brain chemistry.
Yes. A lot of people have a lot of, or if it's something completely different, like, you could be misdiagnosed and have, something like bipolar could send you into a manic episode.
Yeah. God.
So not okay to have no follow-ups and auto refills.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then the company also allegedly collected insurance information from individuals, submitted it to pharmacies filling the prescriptions, causing the pharmacies to submit a fraudulent claims to the insurance company, and especially Medicare and Medicaid, and ultimately paid out roughly $14 million.
Jesus.
So this is Medicare fraud and insurance fraud.
God,
I know.
Do you know what the people died from? The overdose?
I do not. I could not find that.
I mean, it says overdose, I guess. So maybe just like
overdose and death. So I think it's like two separate. So maybe you can overdose without dying. So I'm wondering
overdose
if
and death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of them could have been heart attacks or whatever.
Exactly.
God.
So overall, the CEO, he and Barry made over $100 million in profits.
Great. I'm happy for them.
Mm-hmm. As of now, Dunn clients are still paying subscription fees.
Oh my God.
And this is still like an actively occurring website. They didn't have any like information on the website about this lawsuit.
God. I wonder if they even were taking into consideration like refilling before 30 days also. Like I wonder if you could just get a prescription and then a week later request like another refill and they would just like fill it. Because that's another thing that doctors are, it's like annoying where you have to wait. It's usually like the morning where I would need my meds. It's like now you got to pick them up and it's this really annoying overlap problem.
Right.
But if you're just, it's unlimited and you can just refill it every week or whatever, then you're probably selling those on the streets,
Yes. And so unfortunately, I think the Attorney General, I believe I have a quote from them that we'll talk about. And I think I know what he's trying to say, but I think that this could be easily construed, and I'm worried about where this is going. So what does this mean for us for the ADHD? So the CDC has officially announced, not only did they announce a stimulant shortage in 2022, they have now announced another warning to not only patients but providers for an increased shortage of stimulants, including Adderall.
Sick.
And warning providers that these patients who were patients of Dunn may be seeking treatment outside of Dunn and may not, if they're on a high dose of stimulants and now all of a sudden are not, they may be, you may see this and they, you may have some issues with that, like getting them care because, like we said, the whole reason why Dunn was created is because it's so hard to get a diagnosis and to get into psychiatric help and good psychiatric help. And unfortunately, this is, I believe that it sounded like this started as a really good idea with the best intentions and then obviously profits over people
And
kind
just
of-
like the opioid crisis, you get all these people, used to taking this medication,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, actually, we shouldn't do this.
Right.
Cut that off. Where are those people going to
That's
turn?
still happening to this day, and we're noticing it now. And this is slightly off topic. We're noticing it now because all those doctors that were raised in this era of like oxycodone isn't addictive
Hmm.
are retiring, and their long-term patients who have been getting these medications now have to go to a new doctor who's
Mm.
been raised in the era of like, do not give anybody pain medicines ever.
Hmm.
And so now it's becoming a real struggle for us to kind of, they get really upset because you're trying to taper them down. Some people need chronic pain medication. They're in
Yeah.
chronic pain, and that's okay. Sometimes you can taper them down, and that's very necessary. Sometimes they're on a large dose of medications that's having like, increased side effects. Like maybe they're falling asleep at the wheel
Hmm.
because they're taking so many opioids.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different conversation. So that's what we're seeing right now, currently, among other things, with the latest repercussions of the opioid crisis.
I feel like here in America, especially, we swing from like one extreme to the other, where we're like, these don't have any problems at all. Give them away
Right.
like candy.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, actually, these are bad. Shut it all down. No one should ever have pain meds.
Right. And
no
so,
one should be on Adderall.
Exactly. And I even, I work in surgery, so if I see a chronic pain patient, not only are we treating we're maintaining their chronic pain, and then we're treating their acute pain. And I think sometimes that's really hard. They're like, how could they be on this much? And you're like, well, they're already on a lot. And then, they're probably on, they need more because they've had a surgery.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult thing to navigate, but
And
I
it
just
sucks.
don't feel like.
It sucks when you legitimately need those medications because then
Yeah.
everyone treats you like a drug seeker.
Right, exactly.
You know?
And I've had many patients, even one this weekend when I was rounding, who, was like not begging, but we had an issue with pain control. And basically we had an issue with pain control. And the thing is he needed more pain meds.
Yeah.
Because he had surgery and it hurts. And he's already on a chronic pain medication, and he sits in the hospital beds, which are not helping his low back pain because they're
That makes
garbage.
sense.
Yeah.
And like you're in pain or you're off your normal stimulants,
Right.
and then you're upset that you can't get your medication.
Right.
It's hard, especially if you're neurodivergent. It's hard to have emotional regulation in those like
Exactly.
moments. I've had so many meltdowns, autistic meltdowns,
Right.
from not being able to get my medication when I thought I would be getting it because
Yeah.
it's like, well, now my whole day is ruined.
Christopher's the same way.
Sends me into a spiral, and I feel like it looks like drug addict behavior from the
Yes.
outside, but it's
But
like
it's really
this is medication I need to function.
Exactly.
So
So
frustrating.
I feel bad I'm sure a lot of these patients were, people who have ADHD and we're finally I have someone who's listening to me,
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm
a big
sure
portion of them were legitimate.
We're legitimate, but I think there's a huge stigma of like all these people are drug seeking, and now there's this huge lawsuit that's a few people making lots of profit over something. So I'm upset by this because I really think it's taken. I think there's been a lot of work on getting rid of the stigma of ADHD.
Mhm.
Half of the reason why we started the podcast, and I think this lawsuit is going to take us back years.
Yeah.
Years.
I mean, already with like just this overprescribing to anyone who fills out a friggin' survey online,
Yeah.
it contributed
Yeah.
to the shortage. It just, allowed just anyone to kind of see this as an easy resource to
Right.
get their hands on. And, I'm sure a lot of those people needed them, but a lot of people didn't. And I need to cover it in a future episode, but I've talked about how they've now done studies that show that if you don't have ADHD, taking stimulant medications actually like harms your cognitive abilities because it's trying to boost these chemicals that you already have normal
Oh my
amounts
God.
of. So it can actually be harmful. So if you are a neurotypical who maybe thought they had ADHD, but really it's like trauma or brain fog, like COVID brain fog. Think of how many people have brain fog from COVID
Oh yeah.
who are hear about ADHD. They're like, oh, I have trouble with that. Fill out a quick online survey and they're like, yep, you have it. Here's 80 milligrams of Adderall. Like that's going to harm them.
Right. Every medication has side effects, right?
Mhm.
It's and even though sometimes these are taken socially, like there's still drugs that have side effects.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And not socially. They're really taken to like help people study, I guess.
I mean, people take
although
them as party drugs, though. They
I
take
can't
them to like
imagine.
stay up. Well, because we have ADHD,
Yeah.
so we take them and we want to go to the
to, like,
library.
Yeah, we're like, time to get to work.
Yeah, I don't understand the high that they're getting from it, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
people do take them for partying, you know?
yeah, so it is frustrating, and so the Attorney General Merrick Garland has, this is a quote from them, and I'm upset that the word addiction is used, and I think I'm going to say what I think he meant after, but what it sounds bad. So, those seeking to profit from addiction by illegally distributing controlled substances over the internet should know that they cannot hide their crimes and that the Justice Department will hold them accountable, which is one of the major quotes that I've been seeing flying around the internet. So I think
I see your problem with that quote.
I'm upset because I think the emphasis, and of course, like the DEA, you know, their whole spiel is that they crack down on illegal distribution of drugs. And this is technically the illegal distribution of drugs.
Yeah, but I feel like addiction should
Addiction
be the emphasis.
is, I think, a strong word.
He could have just left that word out. He could have said those seeking to profit by
From-
illegally distributing
Yes.
controlled substances. Like,
Yes.
they're not profiting from addiction. It's
Right.
people looking for help.
Yes.
It's not like a
They're
bunch of addicts going
profiting-
on
yeah,
being like, let me get my
exactly.
Adderall source.
They're not, yeah, exactly. And I think the real victims are the patients in this
Yes.
situation, because, you know, it's not just like, oh, it's insurance fraud and you know, now there's more drugs on the street, but there's also a lot more people who are now left without any sort of treatment options and have to start all over again.
Yeah, I bet a significant portion of those people legitimately do need those medications. Maybe a different amount or a different kind.
Yeah, and maybe there probably are some who don't.
Yeah.
You know?
And they also, they are also being harmed by this.
Right. Exactly.
If there are different resources, you know, that could help them better than these stimulants that they don't actually need. Yeah, that sucks. If you've just been prescribed this for like 3 years, you're like, finally, I got a handle of my ADHD.
Right.
This is so amazing. And then they're like, nope, sorry.
And then you have to go in the real world. You have to start over. You don't have auto refills, so you have to like go back every month.
Yeah, you have to find a doctor who will like take you seriously.
Right.
You're
and
now off
you're-
medication.
You're like, oh, I was on done, and they're gonna be like,
yeah,
you
no.
know. I'm upset by
Sad.
it because I think it's gonna harm a lot of people. It has harmed a lot of people. And I think I'm worried that the DEA sees this as like basically like a drug ring to like get more drugs into the public. But I think what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are having a hard time going through the normal means of being heard and listened to.
Yep.
And they saw a solution and they were taken advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I'm sure there is a small percentage of those people who are just wanting to get prescriptions so they can like sell it on a college campus or whatever, but I bet that's a very, very small percentage. I don't like throwing the word addiction around because then I'm sure they're treating those people who legitimately do need this medication, like we've talked about. It's like taking a SSRI or diabetes medication every day. You're not addicted to it. You rely on this medication to function.
Exactly.
So I don't like the casual use of the word addiction because now those people are going to be looked at as like addicted drug seekers when it's like, no, I built my life around having this resource that I no longer have.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm worried. I'm worried about what this means. I'm worried about how this is going to be portrayed in the media from like, you know, and this is new. To us, this is breaking news, but it's been out for a couple weeks now. And I'm worried. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about these patients who have been. I'm worried about the ones who are still paying their subscription fees.
Yeah,
get out of there.
Yeah, get out of there. Cut that off.
Unless, I'm just worried. I'm worried about this.
I know. I hope there's not any like legal implications for these people too, getting like wrapped up in like, oh, you unknowingly committed insurance fraud.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know.
Yeah.
No one knows how insurance works.
No, nobody.
Yeah. So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about how ADHD is going to be portrayed in the media. Yep. I feel like this is going to set us back a lot.
They're going to use a lot of bad language to talk about it. Like we've already seen with like addiction,
Addiction and, pill happy and uppers and Ugh. Yeah, so I'm worried about this. And then on the whole, what does this mean for the future of telemedicine? Because I think for some people, telemedicine has been a really a game changer. People who are really having a hard time leaving the house, people who with disabilities where they can't leave the house, or
immunocompromised people.
Yeah, exactly. I think telemedicine has been huge. I think we should. This is the way. This is the future of medicine. And obviously, there's a lot of things that have to be in-person visits. Like I don't do a lot of. I've rarely done telehealth visits because I'm doing like extensive wound care.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can't do that via the phone.
But I think there should be some resources for people. Like, what if you live in a super rural area and you have this like very specific condition or whatever? Where even if you could drive, 100 miles, even then there's no expert around you. You know, I think for certain things it should definitely be accessible. We just need like oversight and regulation for it.
So so I think this height pharmaceutical rule from the Ryan Height Online Pharmacy Consumer Protection Act of 2008. I feel like they're going to bring that back because of this.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like,
which sucks for people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good and bad.
It's good and bad. I think there's going to be a lot more oversight within the telemedicine, which may mean a lot more weird charting for providers using certain codes and making sure certain sentences are in your notes.
Makes sense.
To check off certain boxes. But so I think that's what's going to be the future of telemedicine. But I am nervous for this this community of like now almost abandoned patients that have, probably really looked at done as like a great place to be heard and to have a solution to their issues. But
and I feel like now they're kind of gonna all like flood the other resources, like
which are already flooded.
Offices.
And they're so
not that they shouldn't, like they also deserve
access to care, but
it's like all of a sudden you're just like releasing all these people who previously had care, and you're just like, all right, go figure it out, unmedicated,
and Dunn's not going to provide any sort of support for. Although I did think it was interesting. They have a whole thing about with the Adderall shortage and the stimulant shortage. They have a whole thing of like, if you can't get your medication from your pharmacy, we will help you call like 5 other pharmacies to find that. I know. I'm like, my doctor office wouldn't do that for me. They'd be like, fuck you.
That should be a service, though. I've been saying that actually because I can't imagine the people who like don't have the executive functioning to be able to do that. It's hard.
So I think, what I think is done probably started as like with really good intentions, and
capitalism creates, it all comes back to capitalism. Like when you live in a system that values profit over people, it's very easy to, take that route and make profit over caring about people, even people with good intentions.
Yeah. So for the listeners, I have 2 questions. I have a couple questions. One, has anybody else seen these Dunn ads on Instagram? Because I know I've seen a lot of them, especially on our WOF account, because it's all ADHD related, the algorithm.
Oh, now that you say that, I do remember it. Because I remember seeing a company ad with like the period at the end. Yeah. And I'm like, that's weird.
Done, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know, for people who are not in the U.S., have they heard of this company at all? Because it says Done Global, but is it global? This sounds like a U.S. company. Yeah. It is a U.S. company, but I wonder how that would translate over to other places with socialized medicine.
Yeah, that's a good question. They probably don't need it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is it there? Do they? Well, no, because I think in other countries it's still very difficult to get a psychiatric evaluation just due to the lack of providers and the lack of knowledge about ADHD. But
like France.
France,
they're very anti-ADHD.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
They say we don't have ADHD. Meanwhile, their cigarette smoking addiction rates are like, a million times higher
over there. Yeah.
It's almost like people are self-medicating. Weird, huh? But we don't have ADHD.
Yeah, I think I'm worried. I'm worried about these people. Were you a Dunn customer? Did you go? Let us know. Write us in at where'sthefeather@gmail.com.
Yeah, we can keep you anonymous. We don't have
your
to share.
experience. We don't even have to share. I'm just genuinely interested. What's your situation? Are you okay?
Yeah. What's your next move?
Yeah. Are you too stressed out? That's okay.
Yeah.
Just take care of yourself. Yeah. I just it just makes me sad. The more I read about it, the more it makes me sad. Because
I know.
I think it sucks. It's
like, once again, just people taking advantage of a really vulnerable
Right.
population during a really
Exactly.
vulnerable time.
Exactly. So
God.
I'm going to keep an eye on the story.
Yeah,
If
keep us
I
updated.
hear anything else or see anything else,
Say something.
I'll say something. I'll let you know. But
Please.
But
Well,
yeah.
that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'm glad
a little
you shared.
different. Kind of sad. But I have a great bod.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Thanks for listening. Before we squawk out, I don't know, follow us on Instagram, Words of a Feather. Go to our website, wordsofaffeather.com. You can buy merch there. You can see pictures of us. Isn't that fun?
You can buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/weirdsofafeather.
Yeah.
Woo!
You got it.
Got it. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us. You can follow, subscribe, write a review on all the places where you get your podcasts.
Yep.
Just reach out to us in general. We love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We post polls every Monday and the results every Wednesday. They're very funny. You guys are funny. You're funny guys.
You guys are funny guys. Yeah. Do that over on Instagram. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Let's get into this bod.
Yeah.
I got a great bod for
Nice
us.
bod.
Want your bod.
I want your bod.
Today's bod is brought to you by the American flamingo.
Oh.
Which, did you know that there's multiple types of flamingos?
I did not.
There are 6. One of them is the American flamingo, which kind of hangs out in Ecuador and
Oh, it doesn't even hang
Cuba.
out here?
No, it
left
not,
America?
It's not. Well, we're the United States, but the Americas compared to
God,
Africa and
ignorant American.
I know we're so U.S. centric, but yeah. So there are multiple different types of flamingos, which I didn't know, and I left a YouTube link on how to identify all of them. And if you haven't heard of flamingo, where have you been? They're these big pink birds. They're beautiful. I love them.
Stand on one leg.
We love them. But most recently in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, more specifically Chapin Beach in Dennis, Cape Cod.
What?
On June 2nd, there was a flamingo on the beach just hanging out. I know.
Oh,
wild.
how cool would that be?
Just a wild flamingo. Well, it's not
Confusing.
wild. Very confusing. So I saw this on TikTok and everybody's like, it's climate change. And it might be, but what it probably is it probably escaped from captivity, like a local zoo or like a theme park. You know how Busch Gardens has flamingos and stuff, you know?
That would make a lot more sense.
So they think it kind of escaped and just had a little day at the beach, you know?
Good for them.
There's all these pictures. I have a link from the Cape Cod Times with a lovely picture of this flamingo.
That's so beautiful.
And so
I'm happy for that bird.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows where it went? I don't know if it got recaptured.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't say anything. It just said there was a bird at the beach.
Oh.
That was, I read multiple.
Breaking news, bird at the beach.
I read multiple articles, but that's what it said. It's probably from captivity. So hopefully it found its way back.
Yeah, gosh.
Who knows?
I hope you had a nice day at the beach.
So this is a sound of multiple flamingos. So you're going to have to excuse. But I specifically, it's the American flamingo, which is the one that they saw at the beach in Massachusetts.
Okay.
I wish I was there to just hear everybody with the Boston, look at that fucking flamingo.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
What an event.
Ready?
Yep. Really escalate.
It's yeah, there's a lot of honking involved. It's almost like they're honking at each other.
Yeah.
Ready?
How's that?
I feel like I'm just gonna grunt like a gorilla.
Go for it. Yeah. Yep. Really good stuff. Yeah, I feel like that's better. Sounds like a seal. That's a hard hard noise.
It's a hard. We're really bad at bird calls.
We're not very
We're
good.
not good at all.
Yeah.
One day we're gonna have a professional bird caller.
We keep saying that. We need to take lessons.
Not only should we take lessons,
Yeah.
we should get a professional on the show.
Yeah, but that'll just make us look worse. Someone to teach us? Or someone to show us up? Someone to teach
Both.
us.
Show us
Both.
up and teach us at the same time. It's learn from the masters
You're
situation.
right. You're right. Learn from the best. Yeah, we should.
Ah!
Ooh.